Is this on? It's on. Good evening, Cornerstoners, Cornerstone Nation out there. How y'all doing, past Cornerstoners that have been checking in? Great to see you guys have been with us on Sunday night. We feel you here with us, and it's great to have you with us. And any parents and others out there, welcome. Well, we're gonna continue on with our series later on here this evening. I just wanted to prepare you for a little game we're going to have. So get your cell phones ready to text and your Facebook pages ready to respond back. First answer in gets points for your team. Middle school is nicely ahead right now, but the high school can make a big comeback. Alum, you guys are hanging in there. Parents, not so much yet, but maybe that's just because you're wanting to cheer your kids on. So I totally get that. I'm sure you guys would be crushing it if it wasn't for that. Also, back here, you see these pictures here, and there's going to be a little test for you guys involving these faces. So familiarize yourself with those faces, and then there's going to be a question for you guys, and somebody is going to be the big winner. Okay, well, so as you are preparing yourself, I'd like to take a second and kind of transition from what we did last week, and so I'll take a couple minutes to do that and kind of get everybody up to speed. If you weren't here the last couple weeks, feel free. You can look at the other ones if you want. But this should get people up to speed at least a little bit. So before we dive into the next installment of the series, Come and See, Could He Be? A defense of the claims of Christianity, I wanted to wrap up where we are with the first two lessons, where we looked at why is there stuff and why are we a part of the stuff. Now, this may not sound like it has much to do with Christianity and its claims, but there are several levels at which Christianity can be undermined. For instance, how can we even take seriously the accounts of Jesus' life if the Bible, which tells us all about Christ, might be prone to errors or even deception? Or if one were to expose the Bible as untrustworthy or fraudulent, then Christianity simply goes the way of the Greek mythology and the Greek gods. Show that Christ did not rise from the dead, then Christianity becomes just as dead. There is no shortage of claims that Christianity makes, and each one presents an opportunity to disprove it. And by the way, I would say we welcome any attempt to disprove it, by the way. Christianity always welcomes hard questions because we believe we have the truth, and it's the hard questions that help expose things that are false, not the truth. But we don't even make any of these arguments. I mean, these are things that sort of come a little later if the whole foundation on which they stand is dissolved. Who cares to argue if our sins can be forgiven or not, or how we can have eternal life if there is no God? Right? Those don't matter if there's no God. And there is enormous effort that is being made to convince us of just that. There are those who, in the name of science and astronomy and biology and physics, who have made it their duty to address every area where we are tempted to think that there is an evidence for God and show how it can be adequately explained away. The idea here is that Christianity and belief in the supernatural sits on a big sinkhole. And sinkholes happen often enough. Do we have a picture of one of those by any chance? Sinkholes happen often enough. I don't know if you're familiar with sinkholes. Back a little while ago, sinkholes were opening up in California, and swimming pools and all sorts of things were falling into it. And let me just show you what it looks like when a sinkhole opens up. All right. Sinkholes open up all the time, but they don't always open up. All right, Becca wants me to come this way. We are precision here at Cornerstone with our technology. All right, just try to remember that. See that one? How about that guy? You wouldn't want to be there when that opens up. Somebody's about to lose their pickup. That's pretty terrible, isn't it? This one, some old massive truck is down in there, opened up, and man, that water main thing is whatever. So pretty serious business, these sinkholes. And but I think they're a pretty good picture of what the attempt here is when the foundations are eroded. You know, when you see a house that you didn't realize was on a sinkhole, the sinkhole opens up and, you know, the bottom just falls out. And so there is an attempt, what I'm saying here is there's an attempt to destroy and erode the idea of God. And of course, if you take him out, you've taken out the foundation for Christianity and the whole thing collapses. So we really do need to discuss these matters that we've been looking at. So if we want to make a good response, you know, we do need to respond. It's important that we respond. It's important that we attempt to refute in the hope of winning those that oppose us and also influencing those who might be tempted to believe them. And of course, as said before, we always want to be strengthening the saints and encouraging those who are doubting. In attempting to make a good response here, I think in terms of just like two parts, you know, you want to support your argument and counter the other one. So in this series, we're going to continue to give the support that shows that the claims of Christianity are reasonable and logical and most probable or believable given the evidence. Also, we will be countering the alternative views and showing that they require an unreasonable and illogical degree of faith. Already we've seen an extraordinary degree of baseless faith. To the question, why is there stuff, we have a pretty good answer, but what are they going with? They're now going with the universe came from nothing, and that nothing made it. It's just what nothing does. It makes a universe. Well, I guess that's lucky for us. Suppose we should be thinking nothing, wherever you are. Thank you. And to the second question, why are we part of the stuff? They say, yeah, the universe sure looks ridiculously fine-tuned, like it was made purposefully with us in mind. But we know, of course, that couldn't have been, because that would necessarily mean admitting God. So it must be that it only appears fine-tuned to us. But it wouldn't at all if we only realized that there is a ridiculous amount of universes out there with all kinds of random properties. We happen to exist in a universe that supports life, and so it's the one we know, and we are only fooled into thinking that it is special. And in answer to that, we say universes, which, by the way, when I was young, the whole idea of a universe, the definition of a universe was pretty much all there is, all that there is stuff matter-wise. Now there's this idea of universes, and we say, really? Well, how? How are there universes? And we get back this idea, well, there's a universe generator. And that's what they're rolling with. Okay, well, then you got to ask the question, okay, well, then what generated the universe generator? And so then you say, well, then what generated the generator that generated the universe generator? And as it turns out, it might very well actually be generators all the way down and not turtles. If you don't get that reference, then definitely go back and check out the first night. So that's kind of wraps up where we are, and we're going to launch out from there tonight with a whole new lesson, but that's after we play a little game with you guys. So actually, let me leave this right here. And so I've got some questions for you guys, and you guys are going to have to be ready to do this. And you're ready to as fast as you can. And whoever gets it in first, your team gets the points. The first one is a famous classic movie. We're going to ask you the name of a creature in this movie. We're looking for the name of the llama. Name of the llama in The Emperor's New Groove. That's what it's called. One of my faves, I guess. The Emperor's New Groove. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to give you 15 seconds to respond back to that. And then I'm going to give you the second one, even though there's a minute delay. So we have no idea who has won it, even though it's already been sent. Somebody's won, but we don't know it for a good minute. It's sort of like the sun. If something happened on the sun, it would take us 8 minutes to realize it. Isn't that weird? All right. Okay. So what we need to know, next question we need to know is this. You're familiar with the Triple Crown horse races, the famous horse races. You might have heard of the Belmont Stakes, and you may have heard of the Kentucky Derby. What's that third one? That third one that nobody seems to remember, that lonely third one, that critical second race. Nobody seems to remember what that is. What is it? What's that third one? We may be getting responses back on that llama, but not yet. So we still don't know. Somebody has already won. We just don't know who it is yet. Here we go. What is the other name for the North Star? And we have an answer.
Bill Cusco.
Bill who?
Bill John.
Bill Johns gets Cusco. All right, so that is the alum first on the board tonight. Nice job. Bill Johns, way to go. Cusco, name of the llama. Anybody else get it?
Yeah. Katie and Callie.
Katie, Callie, sorry. Sorry, guys. Bill just edged you out. Hey, that's the way this game works. Sorry. All right. We need to know what.
Katie and Callie Preakness.
The Preakness, Katie, Callie. All right. Bill didn't beat you this time. Middle school. Back on the board, middle school. All right. We need to know the name of that famous donkey. What's the name of the famous donkey in the last battle? You remember the name of the famous donkey in the last battle?
John Pickens also said Preakness.
John Pickens said Preakness. Sure you did, John. Good job.
Yes, I can watch the YouTube. Yeah, Phantom Comments on YouTube.
And
Serious?
as our last question, this one might surprise you.
Polaris?
We need to know the last. Who got Polaris? North Star? Who?
Michael on this one. Michael Chu on this one.
Michael Chu, high school. Way to go, Michael. John Krintz also, but who was first?
They all came in at once.
She got text and John did
Wait,
on
don't
Facebook.
say that. Sound convincing. Nobody wants to hear. We have no idea. We
Michael
know
got it.
exactly who got it. Michael got it. Period.
Sorry.
John, good try. John Krintz, good try out there. All right. This might surprise some of you guys. We want to know what state has the motto pick wisely, the Sunshine State. What state has the nickname? That's not its state, the Sunshine State. There's not a state called Sunshine. It's the nickname, the Sunshine State. Which state is that? We need the abbreviation. Sorry. I'm gonna call an audible right now. You may have already gone. Brrr. Whoever comes in with the abbreviation of that state gets it. Yeah.
Puzzle, Karis.
Puzzle, Karis. Nice job. Oh.
High school.
Duh.
What are you?
Shh. That, we're gonna erase that.
Also Ken Singer. He missed it.
Ken Sing. All right. High school. Big comeback tonight.
All of us coming in.
But Amy Chris thinks he's a pony?
Pony.
Oh. I think does he become a pony?
No.
He never becomes a pony.
No.
That must be Shrek. No, he becomes a horse. I don't know.
Yeah. Now his name.
All right.
It's Sally. Katie and Cali, Florida.
Katie, but did they have the abbreviation? I did. It's kind of cruel of me to do it. So I'm gonna give half. I'm gonna give half for Florida because that audible was cruel. Florida is correct. The Sunshine State.
Yeah, they gave it
I
right after.
couldn't fool you. What?
They gave it right after. They said FL.
Wait, did you
Somebody said FL?
No, they said FL.
FL again? They got them both. All right. Not only did they get Florida, but they got FL as well. They got both half of that question. So middle school staying in the lead, not letting the high school pull up on them. All right, here we go. Big points. This is an individual victory. We're going to let you think about it. You have all night until 8 to be thinking about this. You need to you're either going to text back or type back A, B, C, and D, or D, or any combination of those that you believe. This little quiz here, this is a quiz, this is a visual quiz, and it is called Cosmologist or Cosmetologist. Cosmologist or Cosmetologist. Can you find the cosmologist from the cosmetologist? So this is what we need to do. I'm going to just say cosmetologist. I want you guys to either write A, B, C, or D, or just A, just B, just C, or D, or A and B, A and C, A and D, B. Any combination. They could all be cosmetologists. One could be a cosmetologist. Two could be three. None. Whatever you put in. These might all be cosmologists, or they could be cosmetologists. You have to decide. Do you want me to bring them closer?
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. A and B. Cosmologist. This is A. This is B. Cosmologist. cosmetologist. If you think it's a cosmetologist,